The NPA is yet to receive a docket from the South African Police Services on the Phala Phala investigation. There's been pressure from political parties wanting answers on how the money was stolen and allegations of a cover-up at the president's farm. Joining us to unpack the process involved before the NPA can go ahead is Advocate Romeo Nthambeleni, legal analyst. Thank you very much for availing yourself this evening. Is there anything unusual about how the process has played itself out so far?
Good afternoon, Dudu, and to the viewers. I don't think there's anything untoward in terms of the process that has unfolded thus far. The process started by opening of the docket, and then the police conduct their investigations, and then after police have conducted the investigations, the docket is handed over to the NPA to decide whether to prosecute or not to prosecute, because Section 1792 of the Constitution empowers the National Prosecuting Authority to actually decide whether to prosecute crimes in terms of the National Prosecuting Act.
To your knowledge, is there a docket?
I'm not quite certain whether there's a docket or not, but we just heard from the media that the case has been opened, and then there's investigations that have been conducted, and the NPA has actually confirmed that. And then after the investigations have been conducted by the police, obviously, as I have reiterated, that docket is going to be handed to the NPA, and the NPA will decide whether there's substance in that docket that is actually going to be prosecuted, or whether it's a case that they are not going to prosecute. And if ever there's any breach of the Criminal Procedure Act in South Africa, which is the overarching law that deals with crime and procedure in South Africa.
You've shared with us that there's nothing untoward about the process so far, but there are people who are anxious, largely also many South Africans, maybe not many, but some South Africans that we do know of, who want some sense of accountability. Should the president then legally be treated any different from any other citizen in South Africa?
No, I don't think so, Dudu. South Africans can be rest assured that that is not going to happen. We have the Constitution, and the Constitution is very clear that no one is above the law, and not even the president can be above the law. So what the South Africans should do is to trust the process, that the processes will be followed to the T, and after the processes will be followed, there can be a decision whether to prosecute or not to prosecute. By the way, it doesn't end there, Dudu. If the NPA decide that they are not going to actually prosecute, there's also private prosecution that can be pursued. That that can be done, and private prosecution is done when the NPA has issued a certificate called the nolle prosequi certificate that they are not going to prosecute. And then anyone who has got an interest in the matter to pursue it further can take the matter further from the docket and decide whether they are going to prosecute or not to prosecute with their own resources.
Thank you very much for helping us make sense of that. Advocate Romeo Nthambeleni is a legal analyst.